thank you for the right now, Lord. We thank you as we go out, we will be known as a people that this house, the Tabernacle, is full of prophets. They are accurate, on point, heart. Amen. Turn to, it's in the book of Jubilees, chapter 17, starting with verse 17, and turn to Ephesians 6. Just real quickly, turn to Ephesians 6. We have to understand that the minute that the blessings are coming through, there will be great distractions. Amen. And as children of the Most High and as generals, we understand that. So when we see the distractions or we find ourselves in warfare, it's time to gird yourself up. And just like the woman of God said, sometimes you got to turn your plate over. Right. And you need to fast. So when warfare seems to be coming at you from every angle, stuff start happening. Stuff start breaking. Money get funny. Body gets sick. Something is going on. And you cannot be passive about it. You have to do something. Because when we talk about the 400 years, and we understand that we are Hebrew Israelites, and we have been an afflicted people. We've been afflicted, seem like in bondage. We've been in a place that looked like, as we're trying to get up, something seems like it's right there trying to stop. Well, we understand our forefathers sinned. And when they sinned, there was a penalty for sin. But the Father being such a good Father. Amen. Isn't He awesome? Amen. Those who are parents, you are good parents. But there are times when your children had to get a spanking. And they had to get punished. Sometimes the punishment was short. Sometimes the punishment was very long. And so we've been under a long punishment. But now it's over. Somebody say it's over. It's over. It's over. So now that it's coming to August 2019, Now that we're getting the sense of that freedom, the adversary will try to raise up his head at the point of breakthrough to get you to stop. Raise your hand. As you raise your hand, look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I'm letting you know right now. I've come too far. I ain't quitting. As a matter of fact, I got some muscles now. Something getting ready to go down. So you have to have that attitude that if you come up, and I know none of y'all didn't fight when y'all were coming up, but I did. I was the oldest, I lived in the hood, and you know, when somebody say, you gonna put that right there, now knock it down, knock it off. And whenever that happened, you know, something ready to go down. So you need to create a bloodline. So you better not cross here. You better not cross here, because if you allow it, the enemy comes and hits you, and I use this illustration, and it comes in with its influence, its bondage, its pain, its affliction, and you do nothing. The enemy is actually stepping back to see what you're going to do. Say, wait a minute. They ain't do nothing. Wait a minute. Let me put a little sickness on them. Oh, wait. Say, guys, hey, break the car. Car goes down. Say, guys, take their job away. All of a sudden, you're out of job. And they are waiting. The spirit realm is waiting for you to do something. And when you do nothing, all right, it creates such a core of warfare that sometimes never ends in a generation. Amen. Because when you do not utilize your power, the enemy begins to take it away. While you're sitting up in church, while you're going to Bible school, Sunday school, going to different conferences, the enemy does not care about any of that. You can be apostle, come on, and pastor, come on, and bishop. Don't care if you're not using your power. Raise your hand. Behold, I've given you power to tread over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. And nothing by enemies. Somebody say, by enemies.
By enemies.
By enemies.
By enemies.
It shall harm you.
Yes, Lord.
Praise God.
10:19. But if you don't use your power, you actually lose it. You will be tried. And you have to expect that while you're on the assembly line, as you're being made, there's a part on that assembly line of the process along the way that you're going to be tested. Have you ever seen on some of the stuff that you buy inspected by?
Amen.
The Most High is your inspector. You need to know what you are made of, and you have the ability and the power and the authority to tell anything that's not like the Most High, don't cross it. Say, don't cross it. In Ephesians 6:10, it says, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Listen, for we do not wrestle against what? Flesh and blood, but of what? Against principalities. Distractions. Against what? Principalities. Against powers. Huh? Wait a minute. Spiritual what? Where is it? It's in where? High places. It's in a realm of the spirit. It's in a dimension. If you don't use your power, you are already in trouble. Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Where is it? Heavenly places. It's in the heavenly places. It's in the places that you cannot see. But can you feel it? You can feel it. Put your hands on your stomach. So I can feel it. But you have to stop losing sight of the authority that the Most High has given you. Because guess what? Everything is already finished. It's already done. And we can cry until we're blue in the face, saying, Lord, help me. Help me, Lord. Lord, I'm tired, Lord. I give, Lord. I'm kind to everybody, Lord. 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 Ugly cry, Lord. Have you ever, I always talk about this, have you ever had the ugly cry, and then you want to go in the mirror and see how ugly you really are? And then you get in the mirror and go, he's moved by faith. Amen. He's not moved by our tears. Our words. We all have cried. Many tears. But we realized he didn't have no sympathy. Because we're strong in him. And the power is might. Just real quick, flip over to page 8 in the book of Enoch. Principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. It's in a dimension. It's in the called the third heaven. This is you praying. This is my little, I do this. It's third heaven. This is second heaven. And this is first. This is ground level. When we pray, we hear the Most High say yes to your prayer. Hallelujah. Yes. And we say yay. He done it. And just as we get ready to receive, here's the warfare. Third heaven is the throne room. Second heaven is where there is angelic hosts. They moving and ascending and descending. And we can win or lose right here. So we got to learn how to go into the supernatural and pull it back down to the natural. So we got to pull it down. Look what it says in verse 15 verse 11. And the spirits of the giants, we understand that the giants release evil spirits. How do we know that? Let's flip over one page and start with verse 8. Because my question was, where did all these demons come from? Verse 8, you see it? Chapter 15, verse 8, and this is page 7. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. And on the earth shall be their dwelling. So where is the enemy? Ephesians 2:2 says Satan is the prince of the power of what? The air. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies because they are born from men and from the holy watchers. Is their beginning and primal origin. And they shall be evil spirits. Where are they? On the earth. And evil spirits shall they be called. And as for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. It's evil spirits all around. And they major in distraction. They major in all kind of chaos to get you off of the direction that you're supposed to be focusing on. What is a distraction? A focal point of misdirection. Where you're supposed to be looking here, the enemy got you looking over here. So we have to be sensitive enough to know when there is a distraction, how to tear it down and keep our focus at the same time. Look what it says in verse 11. And we'll go through the other verses next week. And the spirits of the giants, they do what? No, I ain't hear you. They afflict, what else? Oppress, what else? Destroy, what else? Attack, what else? Do battle. We talking about evil spirits. These are all distractions. And do what? And work destruction on the earth. Do what? Cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless they hunger and thirst, and they cause what? Offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against whom? The children of men, and against the women, because they have proceeded from what? Them. Do you see that? He tells us that they afflict, oppress, destroy, do battle, work destruction, cause trouble, offend. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. Go to Jude real quick. Jude. So when the angels came down, they saw the women, they were beautiful, Ephesians 6 talk about, and the angels decided they wanted to rise. So when they did that, the women conceived and they had giants. So when the giants conceived, they were evil spirits. All of this is in the Word. It's in the Hebrew Scrolls. Look what it says in Jude 6. And the angels who did not keep their proper domain was in heaven, but left their own home. You see? What did they do? They left their habitation. They left their estate. And for them he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. Do you see that? Ephesians 2:2. I know I keep saying one more. We can't be ignorant anymore. We're coming to an era that you gotta be supernatural and you gotta understand how the spirit realm works. Verse 1, and you he made alive who were dead in trespasses and sins, in which you once walked according to the course of this world. Listen, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit who now works in who? The sons of disobedience, among whom also we all once conducted ourselves in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, just as the other. But God, the Most High, who is rich in mercy, because of his great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive. Do y'all see that? Together with Christ, by grace you have been saved, and he raised us up together and made us to do what? Sit together where? In the heavenly places. So we have dominion in the heavenly places, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace in his kindness toward us in Yeshua. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourself, it is the gift of the Most High, but not of works, lest anyone should boast. For we are workmanship created in Yeshua for good works, which the Most High beforehand, that we shall walk in them. We are created for good works. We cannot be distracted anymore. What am I saying? You have power. What am I saying? You're going to be tried. What am I saying? You need to go through the process, the assembly line, and get on to the end to see what it's going to be. And know that the Most High is with you. He's with you. He's with you. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, I love you dearly.
I love you dearly.
Do not be conformed
Do not be conformed
to this world system. The enemy is a bully. Therefore, no, you have the authority over bullies. And you have extra help. They don't even know. Mess with me, you get a game fighter.
Thank you, Lord.
They don't even know. They waiting around the corner. Because it's more with us than it is
That's
with
it.
them.
Amen.
Yes. So what am I saying? Focus. Some of you are being birthed into your new place. At the place of birthing is at the place of much distraction. At the place of birthing is when the enemy tries to come in to kill, steal, and destroy. At the place of your next level is waiting and lurking. But you must begin from the inside. Say inside. Inside. Say inside. Inside. Say inside. Inside. I got a reputation. In the spirit.
In the spirit.
You got to get a reputation in the spirit. Because when you do that, since everything is inside out, the spirit will know your name.
Amen. Amen.
I say, oops, wait a minute. Who coming? You better go. And when you get to a place, they say, you know what? It was all kind of chaos. But man, when y'all walked in here, man, it looked like the atmosphere cleared up. Mm-hmm. Raise your hand. You got something, Apostle? Raise your hand. Y'all are strong. No, you're strong. Sometimes you can be chained up so long. And when the chain is released, you still think you're bound. Your ways change. They don't change. Stuck in that same place. But you got to get moving.
Amen.
If you don't do nothing but start making decrees,
Amen.
you'll see a shift. Because you know what? You're blessed.
Amen.
You're not cursed.
Yes,
The
Lord.
enemy is a bully. Will try to do everything to make you think that he don't hear you, to make you think that you're inferior, to make you think you are nobody. And but you are children of the Most High. Come on, do them shoulders. Put them shoulders back. Put them shoulders back. Woo. I realized a long time ago when I would go in the store, I would pick the highest thing in the store. I would, and it would happen over and over and over again. You know why? Because we're royalty. We're kings and queens. You got to know that from the inside. And when you know that, all of heaven and all of creation begins to bow down to make a pathway for you to come through. Your focus will always determine your outlet. You have to make a decision. I ain't going down like that. I'm strong and I'm blessed. Just shift your mindset. Even people who are not saved will tell you their atmosphere is always, they have affirmations. Oh, my atmosphere is always positive. Great things always happen to me. You know why? They're using the principles that he put for us. You got to think about how do you see yourself? Come on, put the mirror in front of you and say, hey, beautiful, what's up? Say, you're strong. You're blessed. Multi-millions is coming to you. Go ahead and make your deposits. You owe no man nothing but to love. Why we can't do it? What happens, what we wind up saying is, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I've been doing everything I can. I'm tired. I've been praying, I've been fasting, ain't nothing happened. The enemy tries you so he can get you to say stuff. He knows life and death in the politics. And soon when you say it, it's like start over. Start our way over. No more. Put your hands over your eyes. So I see different. I see by the Spirit.
I see by the Spirit.
I see now.
I see now.
Differently.
Differently.
I see
I see
with the eyes
with the eyes
of the Most High.
of the Most High.
Really, there's not much more to say, but I can just say this. It is very important that we understand what we came out of and what our forefathers have put us in. And when the Most High bring you out, You don't want to stay there. You want to come out. You want to come out. Now, you know, a focal point of misdirection, man, that is something, because, you know, we were never intended to take this affliction the way it is. We understand that the angels came down and messed with the women and caused the demons to do the way it is, but we're seated in heavenly places. And so he had promised that he would restore that which our forefathers have done. So in other words, we are going back to that place of authority. Now you can either want to go back to the place of authority, or you can stay where you are. And so the worst thing I would understand, he said, now I have forgiven you, the 400 years are over, and you want to stay there. It happened before, right? When slavery was over, how many years they stayed?
2 years.
Wow.
In Galveston, it was 7. That's why I had it for a whole week.
That's not cute.
It's like what she said, it's like you get a dog, you chain him up, and he's chained up for a long time, but then after a long time you chain him up, take the chain off of what are you going to do?
Control.
We have to be able to, and that's why we made a process of you're free. Here, you're free. You're not held in bondage no more. It says here in the book of Jubilees, chapter 1, it said, and after this they will turn to me from amongst all the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me that I might be found of them. You see that?
Yeah.
When they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul, I will disclose unto them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst and dwell with them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And down at the bottom, verse 22, that two numbers you like. And after this they will turn unto me with all uprightness, with all their heart and all their soul, and I will circumcise the foreskin of the heart and the foreskin of their heart, of their seed, and I will create in them a Holy Spirit. And I will cleanse them, cleanse. I will cleanse them so that they will not turn away from me from the day of eternity, meaning that this thing is over. He said you will no longer be held bondage, no more. Not you, your children, no longer. Nobody will be held in bondage no more. So you have to renew your mind now. Renew your mind. Renew it now. Why? Because you don't have to be in that no more. All of what the demons were here to do, the demons were never here to control us. They were never here to afflict us. They were never here for that. It was for the ones who were doing disobedience. We are the children of the Most High. We're sitting in heavenly places. We have a job to do. We have to be able to be about the job that we put before us. And it goes and says, after this they will turn unto me with all uprightness, and I will be and with all their heart and all their soul, and I will circumcise the foreskin of their hearts and the foreskin of the hearts of their seed, and I will create in them a Holy Spirit, and I will cleanse them so they will not turn away from me from the day of eternity. And their souls will cleave to me to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments, and I will be their father, and they shall be my children. Listen to this scripture, verse 24. and they shall be called the children of the living God.
Yes.
And every angel and every spirit,
Yes.
every angel, every spirit, every angel, every spirit shall know.
Come on.
Yeah, they know that that they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their father in uprightness and in righteousness, and that I love them. That is what he says. We are the children. I'm going to be down, so wait a minute just 1 second. I'm going to jump over because you need to understand in chapter 2, verse 20. Verse 20 says, I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep the Sabbath thereon from all work. So who are we? We are the children of the Most High because we've been chosen. He has chosen us as his firstborn son. Everybody cannot keep the Sabbath. We're the only ones that can. It says here, verse 31. Well, let's go to verse 31. And the creator of all things blessed it. But it did not sanctify all people and nations, all people and nations, all people and nations to keep the Sabbath thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone, he permitted them to eat and to drink and to keep the Sabbath on the earth. What I'm saying is you have power and you have authority. The things that you're going through now, know that this is a test. Know that you have to be able to pass this thing.
Yes.
We're almost there. We must know. Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in him. Wait, I say. Wait, I say. Wait, I say. Be of good cheer. He is moving by his spirit and he's giving us back. I heard Dr. Bobby said something and she's right. When you're in the Most High, whatever you have lost in your past, you have not lost it.
Amen.
He's taken it from your past and put it in your future.
Restoration time.
When you see it again, you're going to see it's going to have more bells and more whistles on it. It's going to have more things on it, and you're going to begin to say, oh my God, I thank you.
Yeah. Thank you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you right now.
So we must understand that we are the children of the Most High.
Yeah. Yes.
It is serious. This is what we're going everywhere doing. Why? Because it is true. Because we are coming forward. This is another thing, and I want you to understand. We're going to live 120 years, please.
Oh, I received
He's giving that back unto us. This is why he said he's giving that back. We're going to live at least 120 years. Because he took it all away. He said they corrupted themselves. Now he's giving us back that which he took away. That's why I say to you now, the blessing that you think that's coming is a blessing for generations 400 years back. It's so huge. It's huge, and so you can't let this hold you back. You cannot be held back. You got to let go of the old and grab hold to the new. You got to see this thing in another way. If you want something you never had, you got to do something you never did. You got to be going after that which he called you to have. That's what's happening now. You can feel it in the atmosphere. It's in the spirit realm. You can feel this thing. You start to see more things. You feel it more things. Why? You can tell, sir, come on. Yes, sir, and whatever comes. Because when you get back into that place of authority, all you got to do is speak it and it shall be done. All you got, the angels will be waiting at your beck and call to go out to do your bit. You have to understand how powerful you are. why we must study. Study to show thyself approved. Don't just do it on one day. Pick it up every day. Let it become a habit. Let you be caught up in the line. Begin to take a day off. Take the 12 times. Let me go. I'm using the restroom. Get into that word. Begin to read something you never did. You got to begin to start getting on that spiritual highway. Because he's calling you to it. Line by line. Precept by precept. But it ain't nothing without the Ruach. Because the Ruach is the spirit that dwells on the inside of you that teaches you and tells you all things. And that's what's happening right now. I'm just saying what's in the Word. That's what's here. It's right in front of us. And he said, kneel down on the Sabbath. Nobody here going after it. Why? Because our Bibles is going to say, I'm going all the way in on the calendar. And I said, I got to find out what this day is about. So I started going in on it. And it didn't matter who, if anybody was here or not, I made an account because if he said the Sabbath, well, let me see what this Sabbath is about. And I heard a guy, a pastor, who was looking at it, he said, I tried that Sabbath stuff. It was so boring. And I said to myself, well, it's consistent with what he told me in California. And when I came down here to Texas, when he told me to move from California, leave everything, come here. Left the job, everything, and came here. Then, I was full of myself. I'm thinking, by that time Texas had not even gotten up to the standard and that old houses and stuff. And I was in Galveston, and I'm thinking, what the heck am I coming back here for? Oh, and the first 2 times I came back, he didn't say anything. But the 3rd time when I came back, he spoke, he said, you came back here to see what this place had to offer you. He said, I brought you back here to see what I can offer this place through you. And when he said that, I went back home the next day, got a U-Haul, had something well on my car, put it on there, put the U-Haul, and drove all the way back to Texas. Listen, the Most High is calling us to go higher. You can't be held back by circumstances, problems, all of those things. Lay aside every weight. It's a weight. You must focus because the focusing is now. You want your power back. You want your authority. Well, you don't have the power and authority that your forefathers could not have. It's going to be bestowed upon you. And that time is now. That's why when we're bringing the word, and as I'm looking and I'm shaking my head, I'm like, boy, the Most High is doing something right now because he is manifesting himself, not just here, all over the world. Remember, all creation, not just the earth, not heaven, not just the stars, not just the planets, not just all creation is waiting, groaning, and moaning for the sons and daughters to do. That means you got a job that you have to do. You can't look to the person on the left or the right. You got to go within and remove some members that not supposed to be there. Close some doors that should have been closed a long time ago. When you don't do that, that's on you.
It's not good.
This is the mandate is given, and so I'm in correction. I've been with woman of God when she talked about focal part of misdirection because the principalities, you know how they work because we see them, and we know they are here to kill, steal, and destroy. There's a demon called an anniversary demon, and he comes every time to try to afflict a family, and he's looking for the weakest link.
That's so true, son. That's so right.
He's going to catch that weakest link, and that same person who he tried to kill a year ago, he's going to try to kill him at the same time, a year after, around about that time, and you hadn't even figured it out yet.
So true.
This thing is real. So we have to be real about getting back to that place of authority. For real. And not letting nothing cause any hindrances, because if your son or daughter, whoever the weakest link is, you're going to wind up crying anyway, and you're going to think, wait a minute, this not going to happen. No, I'm going to go and close all these doors. Why? Because they're not going to stop. When they see an open door, they know where it's at. So at this time, we have to be a watchman, like she said, to see, to look. yeah, that's that time now. And so I just want to say that,